let's take a look at our top selections
The biggest race on Saturday at Santa Anita is the Grade 2 Californian Stakes. Older horses going a mile and 1/8 on the main track, and the significance of this race is a little bit elevated from early in the week, and that's for a couple reasons. First of all, Santa Anita handicap winner Idol has suffered believed to be a minor setback and is expected to miss the Grade 1 Hollywood Gold Cup at Santa Anita on May 31st. Idol, of course, won the Santa Anita handicap, going away in convincing fashion to emerge as the top handicap runner currently based in California. But it looks like, it's not official yet, but it looks like Idol will probably skip the Gold Cup, and we might not see him until Del Mar. So stay tuned for more developments with regards to Idol. And the second reason is because Big Cap runner-up Express Train, who was nominated to the Californian is a $200,000 race, rather than stay home and run as the favorite for a $200,000 purse. Trainer John Sheriff shipped Express Train to Oaklawn Park, and Express Train is the 5-2 favorite in the Oaklawn handicap for a $1 million purse. So you really can't blame the connections of Express Train for taking a shot at some big money, favored in either spot. And he's got a big chance to come back to California with a big payday. I'm talking about Express Train. And if he runs well in the Oaklawn handicap, I would expect Express Train to probably be the favorite for the Hollywood Gold Cup at Santa Anita on May 31st, pending, of course, Idol's likely defection. Okay, it's a long-winded way of saying that the Californian is significant because it's going to produce 1 or 2 starters for the Gold Cup next month. And the Gold Cup is annually, or has been historically, I should say, one of the top handicap races of summer, early summer in California. It does not compare to the Pacific Classic, but the Hollywood Gold Cup is still a big race in its own right. And the 5 runners in the Californian are trying to make their way toward the Hollywood Gold Cup in late May. Let's go ahead and take a look at the field for the Californian. It's a mile and 1/8. Growth Engine is adding blinkers. Magic on Tap won a one other than last time out. Country Grammar has not started since last summer. Royal Ship is a very interesting horse, and we're going to lead off the discussion talking about Royal Ship. And then the likely favorite on the outside, Independence Hall, even though I suspect that he might be better going short, Independence Hall has to be the horse to beat. He's the likely favorite in the Californian on Saturday, breaking from the outside post in a field that really came up extremely light on speed. Independence Hall has backed up through the lane in most every route race, including the Big Cap. We'll talk more about Independence Hall in just a minute. First, let's talk about a horse that I think is arguably the most interesting horse in the race, because I don't think we've seen the best of this horse yet, nor does trainer Dick Mandela. And I'm referring to number 4, Royal Ship. Royal Ship was a Group 1 winner in South America, who was imported to the U.S. and turned over to Mandela, who's had unbelievable success throughout his career with South American imports. And Royal Ship ran okay in his U.S. debut. He finished 3rd behind then razor sharp Mo Forza. Then he bounced next time out, and it was in the Native Diver Stakes in November at Del Mar when Mandela tried Royal Ship on the main track because he had worked so well on dirt that Mandela thought he might have a future on dirt. The problem was Royal Ship's dirt experiment was foiled right off the bat. And when we roll the tape of the start of the Native Diver, you're going to see exactly why. There's Royal Ship. He's going to his knees at the break, and the race is all but over. It doesn't matter if you're going 5 furlongs or a mile and 1/2. If you lose that much ground at the break, your chances are badly compromised. Fast forward to the stretch, and that's Express Train, who made a long extended run to reach contention on the far turn, and he actually made it relatively close. He finished last of 4. He got beat 6 lengths, but after that debacle at the break, you'd have to believe that with a clean takeoff, Royal Ship might have been a contender in the Native Diver, and that race was won by Extra Hope, with Midcourt finishing 2nd. After that race, Mandela had seen enough. He'd seen enough misbehavior from Royal Ship. He was an unruly type of rogue. In fact, one of the reasons why he broke so slowly in the Native Diver is because he was acting all goofy inside the starting gate. So Mandella, it's kind of, I don't know if it's a last resort, but it's one of the last resorts. Mandella had Royal Ship castrated. He was gelded late last year. And since he was gelded, Royal Ship has become more well-behaved. He is more manageable. He has been fine at the starting gate. And his first start as a gelding, he went back to grass. It was in the grade 1 kill row. And Royal Ship, he did not win this race. In fact, he didn't even finish in the top 4, but he ran well in defeat. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stretch of the grade 1 kill row. And you'll see the red and white silks of Royal Ship, and he's really kind of got nowhere to go. A whole bunch of horses in front of him. And Mike Smith weaving in and out of traffic. Royal Ship finishing with run 5th by 1 length in a race that was won by Hit the Road with Smooth Like Straight finishing 2nd. And Royal Ship, rather, ran well in defeat. He finished 5th. He got beat a length by a couple of very good horses. Hit the Road and Smooth Like Straight 1-2. It was a good, solid race by Royal Ship. And now Mandella is going back to dirt. Mandella said this week, he's doing too well not to run. So we know that he can handle dirt if he breaks well. We think he's a better horse now since being gelded. And with a clean break, he should be forwardly placed in a race where pace-setting chores are kind of up for grabs. And I think that Royal Ship has a chance maybe to spring an upset. But the horse to beat, and I have to admit, he's my reluctant top choice, because I still suspect that Independence Hall might have distance limitations. His trainer, Mike McCarthy, is adamant that I'm wrong. He thinks that this horse will get 1.25 miles, no problem. I continue to see him be forwardly placed in route races and then lose ground late. But in his most recent start, it was in the Santa Anita Handicap, and Independence Hall, he ran okay. I actually expected him to run a little bit better. He ran okay. Let's roll the tape of the stretch run of Independence Hall. He's 2 off the rail, and he's in a good spot to pounce, but he does not pounce. Express Train makes the lead on the far outside. That's Idle, going to mow past everybody. And in the blue silks in between horses is Maxfield, going to come and collar Independence Hall for 3rd. Independence Hall losing ground in the stretch of the big cap, which seemingly supports my argument that he does not want to run that far. But if you go back and watch the entire race, you will see that Independence Hall got rank early. He pulled Flavian Pratt down on the inside. And by pulling, I mean, he was unrelaxed. He did not shut it off. He did not shut down and ration his speed. He wanted to go. And Pratt did not want him to go then for good reason. It wasn't time to go yet. But the point is, Independence Hall did not settle down from where he was drawn. Now, generally speaking, when you go from 1.25 miles to a shorter distance, the pace would likely be quicker, which helps a horse that pulls, a horse like Independence Hall. The problem is this year's Californian field came up almost entirely void of speed. So from the outside post, I wonder what Flavian Pratt will do. I wonder if he will just give this horse his head and let him rock and roll up on or near the front end, Independence Hall. If he does, he could be long gone. I think that he's the most likely winner. I'm not sure he wants to get the trip. All 4 career wins by Independence Hall were around 1 turn. It's not a fair comparison, however, because his 2-turn races were all against much better company. His last 2 Beyer speed figures, a 98 last time out and a 104 the time before that, finishing 3rd in the Pegasus, are the top recent figures in the field. So Independence Hall, top figure starter in the field, potential pace setter, maybe, and the horse to beat. I just don't want to take him at a short price, recognizing that he is the most probable winner. How about a horse going from a 1 other than allowance all the way into a grade 2? That's a little bit of an ambitious class hike, don't you think? Well, it is, but he's also trained by Bob Baffert. I'm referring to number 2, Magic on Tap. He's a lightly raced 5-year-old by Tappet. He's only started 4 times. He's won 2 and finished 2nd twice, and he had been off since, more than a year when he returned last month in a one other than. And let's go ahead and take a look at Magic on Tap with a rail trip down on the inside. Flavien Prat was aboard this day on Magic on Tap, and he just saved every inch of ground. He knew he was on the best horse, and he just needed to find room inside, and he did. And he kicked away and won decently by a length and a half. He earned a 91 buyer speed figure. That was his first start in more than a year, and he should improve. Now, Baffert initially believed that both Express Train and Independence Hall were going to go to the Oaklawn handicap on Saturday, but Independence Hall stayed home as the horse to beat. Anyway, it's a big class hike for Magic on Tap, one other than into a grade 2, but this is not an outstanding field of grade 2 caliber horses. So Magic on Tap has a chance. He'll be ridden by Umberto Rispoli. Flavien Prat was obligated to stay with Independence Hall. So Rispoli picks up the mount on Magic on Tap. He's a sharp horse, moving up in class, in top form from a top stable. What's not to like? Well, just the class issue. We don't know if he is graded caliber quite yet. Baffert also entered Country Grammar, making his first start since August. He's a grade 3 winner that was purchased at a dispersal sale in January for only $110,000. He's making his first start for Baffert. When Baffert puts a horse in a race, you know that they're live. Even though he hinted this week that maybe a mile and 1/8 first start since last summer is asking quite a bit. Country Grammar was actually entered in an allowance race a week or so ago. Baffert scratched him to work him one more time. In hindsight, he wishes he would have run in the allowance race as opposed to taking on Independence Hall. But he's in the Californian as a contender under Abel Cedillo. Cedillo has been aboard him in the morning, aboard Country Grammar. And Country Grammar, a comebacker, a new face to the handicap division that is very, very shallow right now. And then finally down on the inside is number 1, Growth Engine. Growth Engine had a brutal trip last time out. And when you get a chance, go back and take a look at the entire race. Growth Engine was making his first start in California, first start for John Sadler, and he was blocked virtually the entire final quarter mile. Never really had a chance. His stretch run was inconclusive, but after the finish wire, he galloped out like a freight train. So kind of mixed signals on Growth Engine. Blinkers are on. I suspect that his new jockey, Tyler Bays, will ask him for speed because Sadler does not want him to get stuck behind horses. Okay, it's the grade 2 Californian Stakes, and the horse I picked on top is a horse that I still don't think wants to run this far. His name is Independence Hall. He's the most probable winner of the Californian Stakes. Race 8, Saturday at Santa Anita.